coming out. These lights are so blinding, I can't tell if it's 2,000 or 3,000 people out there in the audience. So. But no, thanks for coming, guys. I know it's post-lunch. It's kind of like nap time for a lot of us. But I'm here to talk about battle of the email offer types, CPA, cost per acquisition, versus CPM, cost per thousand campaigns. Talk a little bit about the current email game and how to kind of best position your buy. So my name's Daryl Colwell. I manage our North American performance business for Matomy. Been in the performance game for quite a while, about 15 years, mostly on the advertiser side. You see some of the clients that myself and various teams have onboarded here at Matomy. For those of you not familiar with Matomy, we're one of the largest performance-based digital media companies out there. Over 400 people, 10 offices, thousands upon thousands of both clients and publishers. And we had a great event in the summer of 2014. The company went public on the London Stock Exchange. All right, a couple of things that we're going to talk about today. The state of email acquisition marketing, domain challenges, and each domain has got its own unique challenge. The pros and cons of buying email on a CPA versus CPM, and then how to most effectively manage your email marketing campaign. Just for a show of hands, how many folks in the audience are affiliates or publishers? And how many folks would consider themselves advertisers? Okay, buddy. And then technology or software. Okay, cool. All right, great. This is mostly going to focus kind of from the advertiser perspective, but you affiliates and publishers are certainly going to get something out of it too. Okay, so the state of the industry. Email used to be a Wild West business. Can Spam certainly, I think in 2003, did a big job to sort of clean things up. But there's no shortage of controls that the domains, the Gmails, the AOLs, et cetera, have put in place to really kind of regulate the industry. We've seen at Matomy, and this is a lot with the third-party marketers that we work with, the email marketers out there. We've seen a number of mailers simply go out of business. One of the domains makes a change to some of their rules. It wiped people out. Folks who were delivering to the inboxes, getting great penetration, making nice money, overnight saw their business collapse. What we're finding is data, integrity, and quality is paramount. No longer are the days where you can use the same name that's on 12 different lists. You need high-quality, unique data to be able to deliver effectively. In the past, with a lot of affiliates, a lot of email publishers, they were happy to take any old CPA, CPL, CPS deal. Lately, we're finding it's just not the case. With the supply, and the supply being the publishers that are effectively delivering to the inbox is shrinking and demand ever increasing, the affiliates, the publishers really have, they've got an advantage, right? And they've got the ability to go ahead and get dollars on a CPM, which is a little bit different we're seeing from a couple of years ago in the space. And then the future, I really feel like CPM must be, it's extremely important for each marketer to open their eyes and their wallets, I guess, to be willing and able to test new email campaigns on a CPM basis. Okay, domain challenges. When I talked about companies going out of business overnight, and not behemoth companies, could have been small one or two man or woman shop affiliates going out of business. AOL was a big reason why. AOL, and I'm not a technical guy. I'm not pretending to be one. AOL made some changes last year, making it extremely difficult for any mailer that had depended upon AOL as a delivery channel. Hotmail. We're a global company, and we're seeing ever-increasing difficulties for email marketing companies to deliver. Hotmail in Europe. Yahoo's always tricky. Matomy, we focus on Yahoo as a domain that we mail into ourselves. It's very tricky. They're very finicky. A couple times a year, often around major holidays, Yahoo pleasures itself by making some algorithm changes and making it difficult for email marketing companies such as ourselves and some of our trusted affiliates to deliver. And we put here, Gmail is a unicorn. A lot of guys out there who say they deliver Gmail, none that I'm aware of that really deliver or drive significant scale like with some of the other domains. That being said, when that person figures out how to deliver Gmail with great scale, they're going to be sitting on a pile of gold. Like I said, a lot of folks are going out of business, and there's less supply, and the demand is still there, and frankly, the demand is growing. Conferences like this, it's growing every year. There's no shortage of advertisers out there wanting to, acquire new customers through the email channel. And certainly don't expect the domain challenges to ease up in 2015 and thereafter. Okay, so I figured I'd run through, CPM email. We'll talk about some of the pros and cons. And again, this is from the advertiser's perspective. I really feel like it must be a part of your email mix. A couple of the great things with the CPM, it's a guaranteed drop date. You call your mailer up, paying the rate that he requires. You're able to say, I want X campaign to go on X given day. And often you can choose whether, morning or afternoon or even down to the hour that it starts deploying. So there's a lot of precision around it. It works great for time-sensitive verticals, right? Whether it's like you're like an H&R Block or a TurboTax, focused around tax season, or you're that big retailer that needs to get campaigns out on Black Friday. It makes a lot of sense to guarantee your spot. And the ability to reach specific demographics. I had lunch with somebody who was interested in reaching Republicans and very, very conservative Republicans. And I said, okay, I'm sure you can find it, but it's going to cost you. That's not something that, is from a marketer's perspective, you should count on being able to run on a CPA. And one of the key things certainly is make sure you've got a good, responsible marketing partner to work with, a good affiliate that can deliver and can deliver on time. Okay, some of the cons. CPM's expensive, all right? You've got to pull money out of your wallet to spend the dollars for a campaign before you really see anything. There's a fair amount of legwork that's involved too. I recommend getting a referral on a particular email company as to whether or not they're able to deliver, who they've delivered for, what types of verticals, what campaigns work well for them. Do the math, right? Ask them about their open rate, their click-through rate, what sort of conversion rate they see on specific campaigns. It's a fair amount of legwork that you're going to have to do up front rather than simply telling somebody, I'll pay you $10 for a lead and you go ahead and test it. So the onus is certainly more on the marketer when you're paying on a CPM basis. Like I said, do the math. And then there's scheduling challenges around major holidays. Whether it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever it might be. Even if you are buying on a CPM, you certainly want to schedule your mail early around sensitive holidays. CPA. For the most part, if you're an experienced marketer and you've got your lead flow locked down, you've got your CRM process locked down, if you go to an email marketer, and I believe email generates some of the highest quality leads aside from search, which is the top lead if you're in market, if you're actively searching for something. Email in general delivers some of the highest quality leads that are out there. For the most part, if you're going to buy leads, at $10, and you've got like I said, your CRM locked down, there's a good chance you're going to be ROI positive, or worst case, you're not going to lose your shirt on a campaign again because you're only paying for what you actually get. And it's perfect for certain verticals. We at Matomy, we don't typically sell CPMs to our email list on a Saturday or Sunday. We actually pretty heavily utilize the dating vertical. There's a lot of lonely folks out there, believe it or not, that are looking for dates on Saturday or Sunday nights, Friday nights. So we're actually able to generate as high, if not higher, of an effective CPM by mailing a dating campaign on a cost per acquisition, cost per lead, cost per sale basis. So this, dating folks, they've got a leg up on a lot of other lead gen companies. If you're, generating leads for, home services or a financial product where your call centers may be only open between Monday and Friday in set hours. If you're a dating advertiser, the weekends on a CPA basis provides a great opportunity for you to go out and get some value. Like I said, you can meet or exceed your effective CPM by mailing a CPA campaign. Okay, so certainly CPA is not always perfect. So you're not always guaranteed a specific drop date. A mailer may tell you, okay, great, I'm going to mail your campaign to 1 million names on a Monday. However, if Monday morning, Joe advertiser calls up and says, I'm willing to pay your $5 or your $10 CPM rate, well, you just got bumped, right? Mailers are going to take the guaranteed money, and a CPA deal takes a backseat, and not just to a CPM deal, but to a CPC email buy as well, which is sort of, in that gray area between a CPA and a CPM campaign. We're seeing more upfront resistance from mailers to test on a CPA. It's not, like I said in the earlier slides, it's not like it used to be, right? If mailers can go out and get campaigns on a CPM basis, they're more interested in testing your campaign, or running your campaign rather, on a CPM basis on the first run. Just they can guarantee money, and from there they can look at the open, the click, and the activity rate on it. The reality, like I said, mailers are, we deal with plenty of folks who, a year or 2 years ago were mailing performance campaigns and are now exclusively mailing CPM campaigns. So it's a pay-to-play model. If you want access to that inventory, you're going to have to go out and pay on a CPM. It requires you to, perfect or at least optimize the lead flow and spend a lot of time on your creative and landing pages. Like I said in the last slide, so long as you've got your follow-up process locked down, if you're paying your amount per lead, you're going to do a pretty good job of making money on the leads. However, if you don't, very quickly a CPL or CPA campaign that takes off, that actually performs very well on the front end, if you don't have your follow-up process locked down on the back end, it can get a heck of a lot more expensive than a CPM campaign. So certainly make sure you're buttoned up on the back end. It's extremely, extremely important to spend a lot of time optimizing your creative and your landing pages. The last thing the mailer wants is a campaign that doesn't perform, that he or she has agreed to mail on a CPA basis. So it's certainly important to spend a lot of time on your creative when you're running on a CPA basis. Okay, making it work. I'm a firm believer that a marketer ought to consolidate as much of their budget within a particular medium, and we're talking about email here, with one or two given marketers. So long as they've got the quality, they have the scale, it makes a lot of sense to really focus on one, right? Most digital marketing folks are not focused just on email. They probably have responsibilities around social, search, et cetera. So if you can work with one company that's got scale, that's got quality, I think it makes a lot of sense to, quote unquote, give it to somebody exclusively. You're going to reduce the number of pitfalls around creative, folks who don't download a suppression file, duplications of lists, et cetera. And then it gives you the opportunity too, when you're working with that sole affiliate or that sole marketing company, to remove any lists or any sub-IDs, whatever you want to call it, that are underperforming. An underperforming affiliate can't get kicked out of one program and then simply go to another program if you've only got one program running. And then also, the flip side, it allows you to shift budget towards those that are performing, potentially spend more around that. And then mix it up. Certainly include, both CPM and CPA in your buys. Keep affiliates honest. And then proactively manage your sources. I mean, like anything else, right? Buying, email, it's probably less minute to minute versus doing a mobile or a display media buy. But it's extremely important to have regular weekly check-ins with whoever you're working for. It keeps everybody accountable. And keeps people focused on the campaign. Listen to your affiliates. They know a heck of a lot more about their lists, even than you do as the marketer. Take their advice. They make suggestions around creative, subject lines, creative, et cetera. Certainly follow their advice. There's no shortage of holidays throughout the year. Makes sense to keep your creative timely and relevant to whatever season or whatever holiday that it's in. And last but certainly not least, in certain instances, in certain lists, we're seeing as high as 80% of our users open via mobile device. So it's extremely important, one, to make sure that your page, your creative, your landing page, et cetera, is mobile responsive. But think about, don't just make it mobile responsive. Think about how that user, what sort of is going through their mind and how they're going to take an action if they're opening your campaign up on a mobile device. We do a lot of pay-per-call within our space. Or within our office rather, and if your user opens up on a mobile device, if you're able to add a click-to-call button versus filling out a lengthy lead gen form, it's just going to boost your conversion. It's going to get you in touch with that consumer much faster, and that's it. Go ahead. So the question was, what does CPM mean precisely? For us, and I would say rule of thumb, the majority of mailers, it means cost per email sent. So if I say I'm going to mail 1 million names, it's based on emails delivered. to be clear. So if we have a deal, you're going to pay me a $5 CPM for 1 million names, and I deliver 900,000 names, well, I'll charge you 900 times 5 or $4,500. There's certainly companies out there that'll take it, further into the gray area, where they may charge you like on a cost per email opened. I've seen that out there. We price it on an email delivery, and most of our affiliates do so. Yeah.
And does $5 kind of the going rate? You use that number a lot. Is that kind of an average for a non-niche type of list?
$5, it's a round number. There's certainly folks that are less. Certainly, companies that are more. It's based on a variety of factors. Targeting, volume. Day of the week. Maybe if you book a Friday, there's an opportunity for you to get a discount versus a Tuesday. Just kind of like an average of what we've seen out there. But yeah, it certainly varies. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So the question was around how do you avoid being labeled spam as the mailer. One of the most critical things I think is not only to review every offer before you mail it, but don't be afraid to be selective. Right. You're the email marketing company. Like I said in the first few slides, it's not easy to get delivery. So mail offers that are relevant, that are timely, that your user base is interested in. Certainly if something toes the line of being spammy or unethical, I would suggest stay away from it.
Is it a good option to come up with like another website similar to yours just for affiliates? Just to have your main domain protected from being considered spam.
That's a good question. That's a technical question that I don't know. But I'll follow up with our guys. I can probably get you an answer. Yeah. I know often mailers use a number of different domains to mail from. But I'll follow up with you after. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm also never worked with the agency before. But let's say if you do a cost per thousand or whatever the CPM.
Yeah. So a day, 2, 3 days after the campaign goes out, you'll get what's called a drop report, from your marketing partner. Typically you want to see how many were sent, how many were delivered. What's that? How do you figure out what the demographic is that you want to reach? Well, I would say, unless you're a brand new offer, right, you'll have a customer list.
I know the demographic that works for my company.
Yeah.
Now, if I want 20,000 new people, I need to work with someone to identify those 20,000 people first, right? Before we decide to send them an offer.
Yes, you're going to give the demographic to the list company. You're going to give them the demographic. And they should be able to kick back a count to you. Absolutely. And then from there, you decide how much of that you want to mail to. But yeah, that's called requesting a count. And very, very typical. If you want to reach men living in the state of Nevada. Yep.
We go back to his question. There's a ton of these companies.
Yeah.
So the question is, who's
how do you pick one?
Who do we know?
Anybody that's speaking at Affiliate Summit about CPA versus CPM, he represents a very legitimate company. Get like anything else. Get referrals, right? There, like in any industry, there's good actors and there's bad actors. Get referrals and test, right? If the first test doesn't work out, there's probably not going to be a second test if it's so badly it doesn't work out. So, believe me, most of the email companies you're going to work with, they're going to be in it for the long haul. But word of mouth, certainly, like any recommendations. do your research. Conferences like this are obviously great. You know, there's conferences, smaller conferences that are just dedicated to just email. Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned dating is great for Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
possibly Sunday.
Yeah.
What about Monday?
We mostly focus our dating mailing efforts around the weekend. Oh, what's good on a Monday? Oh, okay. Yeah, like I was saying, a lot of our clients, you know, you're not necessarily buying their product online. You're completing a lead form, which is then going to a call center, which operates regular business hours. So we do quite a bit within insurance, the for-profit education space, finance, you know, offers like credit reporting, yeah, campaigns like that. There's a lot of elective surgery offers that, you know, that might be out there as well. Thanks, guys.